where you have your arms out and you're trying to stay in that position for an extended period of time. Many times when you do that motion, it's not just going to be hurting your shoulder or your neck, but also it does a little bit of difference in the way that your scapular muscles and your scapula moves in general. So I'm going to have Natalie here just to turn around, and we're talking about like the scapular muscles around the back right here. A lot of people, when they actually have their arm in that position, that's when you see that scapula, that scapular bone right there. And instead of staying in that normal position right there, start to go outside and start to rotate at the same time. That's how you see like the rounded shoulder is just coming off the wall a little bit. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to do a modification for that posture itself. Before we even think about any intervention, any techniques or any manual therapy, we need to advise the person on how they should actually extend and retract their shoulder muscles and their scapula at the same time. So here I'm going to ask Natalie to try to seem like you have a paint, or you're trying to actually touch with your back of your shoulders the whole way back to the wall itself. Second great way of actually stretching those pec minor, because when you have a rounded shoulder right here, that's when you're stressing out those pec minor and your chest muscles themselves. And also do a passive stretch where I'm going to ask Natalie to put her hands behind her back, and then that's when I'm going to just stretch her chest just right like this. One more technique of actually pushing your scapula and your back into a good back posture instead of having like a rounded shoulder is just simply like you can get a belt from home and you can get that belt around your neck, all right? And then you get that belt behind, like in front of your shoulder, behind your back, and then you can cross that belt and then you can just squeeze it right there. So in that way, that belt from here will push your shoulders backwards. So the belt is kind of giving you enhancement to not just remember about your posture, but it's going to also push your scapula backward and being in a good position.